Man, it is a beautiful day outside. People mowing the lawn. Air is blasting. I know you can hear it. It's 5:37 on a Tuesday afternoon. Welcome back, everyone, to the channel. Now I hear cicadas. There's a lot going on out there. But in here, we find a little peace. We find ourselves 5 miles out, finishing out the album, Mike Oldfield. We're moving on to the final track here. Hope that you guys are all looking forward to it. Hope that you're all doing well. Let's listen. Sometimes just want to jump into it. So let's hop ourselves on in and we'll talk about it after. 5 miles out. Let's go. More vocoder action. And now almost a bagpipe kind of sound. I like how the drums and all opened up here. Okay. Of course, I always want to know your thoughts. 5 miles out. Come on back in. Come 5 miles out to sea, out to air. Come on back here. Got your landing pad right here. Put your wheels down. Let's talk about this one. So we end the album, and in my opinion, this is just me on a first listen. This is a supremely mixed song. I am thoroughly mixed on this track. I'm telling you, like as of right now, I put it right on the fence. Like if I was rating this out of 5, I'd put it at like a 2.5 out of 5. If there was no vocoded vocals on here, and if Mike wasn't singing, and it was just Maggie singing, it'd probably be a 3.5, closer to a 4. I would wager. I don't like the vocoder sound in his voice and how it suits this track, because it doesn't suit this track at all. I think it takes away a lot from here. Maggie sounds fantastic. Angel that she is. Absolutely gorgeous. Love the voice there. I like Mike's guitar playing. I like the composition. I like the way that everything is composed. I like the song, but just take out his vocals. You even have some caveman section from Tubular Bells returning in some ways, which it definitely brought a certain kind of contrast into the color of this particular track. I don't know if it brought a good contrast, but it was a contrast nonetheless. And then another thing that I didn't really enjoy was the production on the extra percussion and drum sounds, because the overall beat of the drums were nicely placed in the back, right? With a nice little bit of a thump. Then every once in a while you would have the toms, which rang out just really far ahead, almost doing a sort of Phil Collins thing, but just so far in the front of the production, it was like you have your band set up on stage, and drummers usually back and center, guitarist, bass, etc. But then like out of nowhere, you would have the drummer come like front stage with just the toms just doing this, and it just kind of sounded awkward. And every time those fills came in, the section after those fills, in which it led into, which you would expect to be like a big momentous moment, a nice climax, like really driving forward the next part, actually kind of stuttered and stumbled into something that felt weak. I felt melodically those sections were really strong, but because of the big setup from the drums, I'm expecting a big payoff, and I never got that payoff. So that it leaves me a little mixed, because like I said, I enjoy the music of it, but I don't like the vocals. I don't like the way the drums stuck out. So yeah, I'm really totally mixed. I know that what I just said all sounds really critical, and perhaps it is in some ways, but I think that this is an okay track. I think it's okay. I liked where it was heading, and I might have even enjoyed the ride. I enjoyed the scenery. I enjoyed looking out the window. But at certain points, I didn't want to jump off the plane, but I wanted to land. What do you do when you're falling? You've got 30 degrees and you're stalling out, and it's 24 miles to your beacon. There's a crack in the sky and the warning's out. Don't take that dive again. Push through the band of rain. Can I tell you? One of my fears. I know I've traveled. You guys have seen the vlogs. I like traveling, but I don't like flying much. I force myself to, but oh man, I don't like flying. 5 miles out, just holding your heading true. Got to get your finest out. Your number one anticipating you. So we're just talking about going on this flight. There's some trouble. There's some turbulence. Mayday, mayday, calling all stations. This is Golf, Mike, Oscar, Violet, or Victor, Juliet, IMC, see you, and blah, 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 blah. Talking to the traffic controller. That's really what this song is getting down to, looking at the lyrics. Just going through some trouble winds, some trouble storms. Your plane stalling out, that's kind of more than a storm, I guess, making it through on the other side. It says that this was inspired by a near-fatal flight that Oldfield had experienced, where the inexperienced pilot received an incorrect weather forecast and flew through a thunderstorm. When it came to writing lyrics, Oldfield visited a local pub, lined up a few pints of Guinness, and wrote the words using a rhyming dictionary, with the aeronautical terms he could think of as a basis. Hey, anyways, I wouldn't say that this track crashed. It just had some trouble. It just had a little bit of trouble up in the air there, just a little bit. Anyways, it should be very obvious in listening to this album what my favorite track was. Orabidu. That to me that's an Oldfield classic. That one, that reigns way above everything else on the album, in my opinion. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you like Orabidu as much as I do? Because I think it's a perfect track. I think it's a 5 out of 5. I think that it reigns supreme. way supremo in the album, and I would probably put, honestly, I'd probably put Taurus 2 at the least favorite. But let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you listening to me day in and day out. Sometimes I say things that no one agrees with, and that's completely fine. As long as we're all honest with ourselves, I'm honest, you're honest, that's what matters. And hopefully we learn a little something in the experience, because that's what this whole channel is about, experiencing something perhaps you never thought you would, or perhaps you are for the first time. So I appreciate you being here. Press the like button, the subscribe button, the Patreon, the Twitter, the blah, the blah, the blah. I'll talk to you all later. Bye, guys.